Why, hello everyone. We should be live. And there should be sound. Just to make sure, can the rest of you just say hi real quick to our chat? With
Hello all.
Yeah, you guys don't have sound. It's hilarious.
Hello.
What did I do wrong? I did a thing wrong. That would be this.
No, we have sound. We have sound.
Oh, you do? Alright. Does chat hear us all? Hey, Twitch, do you hear us?
Yeah.
Do we come loud and clear?
Look at you using terms and such.
Yes. Hi. This is our very first. Ooh, thank you. Thank you to Cruelest Month. Sorry, for the follow. I am of course being softer than everyone because screw my game.
Welcome to OBS.
Yes. I know. Keeps screwing up. There you go. That should be better. I am
Still for longer.
loud enough. Hey, thank you for all the bits. All right, so hi everyone. This is our very first episode, the premiere of Dark Matter. The actual name of the campaign, by the way, is Dark Matter, but we're also playing in the Dark Matter universe using the Dark Matter D&D 5th edition rule by Mage Hand Press. You'll be introduced to our cast of characters tonight, a bit of who they are, what classes they play. You'll notice that there's a lot of difference compared to regular D&D, and I'll introduce Twitch. I'll introduce you guys to yourselves once we're done. So let's just go around the table real quick. Each one of you... the order that you want, it doesn't matter. Just tell us who you are, who you'll be playing, without describing the character too much, because we'll go into that once the game starts. So who wants to go first?
We're doing the nose game.
I'm going to volunteer someone.
No, I'll go first. All right. Ruin your nose game. No, I'm Eddie Freeman. This is actually my first real. Well, I played with Not So Speedy a little while back in a one shot. Yeah, this is my first live stream. I'm pretty excited about it. But other than that, I've been playing D&D for a while now and love it. And I'm a huge sci-fi nerd, so yeah, there's gonna be some geeking out. And my handle actually for Twitter changed recently to Pixel Pirate, but we'll get into that at a different time. But yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Hey, thank you, Hermley, for following. All right, who's next?
I'll go next, because I wanted to go first. Now you beat me to it. Bit of pride there. Anyways, I'm Alex, and I will be playing Eddard. As you can see, I was the bodyguard.
Oh, yeah.
He is. I shall guard your all buddies.
And if it wasn't clear, I'm Doxy, and I have an AI companion, Loxy, and we'll get into that in a second.
So might as well finish the leftmost side of the screen. Charlie.
I am Charlie, aka Frost and Fire. I am playing Lola Lynn Johnson. And Stella.
And Stella, your faithful animal companion.
Yes.
All right, right-hand side of the screen now. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Good evening, all. I am Dee, or Praxagora Thesmophoria, as you've seen me in the Twitch chat, and this evening I'll be playing Kebachet, our wonderful medic for the evening.
Ooh, thank you, Prax, for subscribing.
You're welcome.
I have to lift my hands higher. All right, next up, Justin. Well, thank you, Eddie, for subscribing.
All right. Yeah, I'm Justin, Mage Hand Press on Twitter, also known as Tweeter of Vecna. We made Dark Matter. It's fun. I'm totally not biased whatsoever. But I will be playing Zindak, our notorious captain, who's clearly not a criminal.
Thank you, Frost from Fire, for subscribing. And our last crew member. Who are you and who are you playing? You're also muted. Or there's just
problem with 2 mutes. Thank you. So my name is Rochelle. I go by Pashka_D on a lot of social medias. A lot of people know me by the name Meep. And I will be playing the Rothian Witch this evening.
And I am Simon at Wandering DM. This is my channel. Hi, everyone. But I'm not important. What's more important is you and how you can affect the game we're playing. So, a concept that I have for Dark Matter, this crew of misfits and adventurers are tied together by a ship that they found a few months ago. And they'll get into the story of what happened and everything. I'll leave that up to them. But what we need to know for the purposes of the game is that this ship is manned by an AI called Twitch. T.I. blah blah blah. And it is a very capricious and very chaotic AI. And through a system of subbing, donations, following, you name it, bits, you can actually cause the ship to affect the game. Now, they've had this ship for months, but they haven't been able to pierce most of the secrets of the ship. Some of the rooms inside the ship, about an entire deck worth of rooms, has been rendered inaccessible by the AI through a lot of different means. And you are the ones that can help get them through and explore the ship and actually uncover the secrets of the Scarlet Trust, which is the name of the ship that they have. I'm also doing another thing with, what is it? It's for every 5 subs, I'm giving the players a free milestone. We're using milestone XP, so they'll level up over the course of the campaign as I see fit. But also, you can give them, a bit of a head start on that. For every 5 subs, each player gains a milestone, and for every 5 milestones. So if we get 25 subs over the course of this campaign, which is 12 weeks, the entire crew will get an additional level, making everything a tiny bit easier. So if you want to help fuck up the whole crew, however, you can donate bits. I have the donation chart on my Twitch page at the moment, but basically it's 200 bits or a $2 donation for a wild ship surge. So a wild ship surge is Twitch going haywire and doing something. As an example, I think I'm going to ask the crew to reveal the 6 various surges that Twitch has brought along over the last 3 months. Pick yours, call it out, and what I'll do is we'll describe, we'll go into the game. But as we do so, I will also, we'll introduce the surge. Woof! As we also introduce the characters. So we'll do like a bit of in-game, out-game type thing. You'll excuse me for not having any background music tonight. This intro sequence was rather long to create. So for tonight, we won't have any music, but know that starting next week, for the second episode, we'll have music on, both from Magic Sword and random sound effects. And I also want to give a shout out to someone that I forgot to credit in the intro sequence, which will be corrected next week. But I want to give a big shout out to Carnero RPG. I've linked their Twitter in the chat. They're the person that did all of our art. They're a wonderful and very talented artist.
It's so good.
Yes, it is amazing, and they've done that with such a short turnaround. They're also one of the illustrators for the Dark Matter 5th edition campaign setting book. So you'll find their drawing in there, and through their social media, you can also see if you want to have commissions done or what have you. It is entirely possible through there. All right. I think we should delve into the game. The ship is currently, the Scarlet Trust is currently flying through space you've exited a Maw station in the outer reaches of the galaxy. Right now, unless Zendak, Captain Highhill, has given you a rundown of what's happening, we'll do it in-game, Justin, if you haven't told anyone yet, which is perfectly fine.
Oh, I've been holding off.
All right. So for all you know, you've just exited a Maw station somewhere in the galaxy. Now, we find each of our characters in different rooms in the ship. And we'll start with the engineering bay.
Ooh.
Who's currently in the engineering bay? What does this person look like? And what are they doing? Furthermore, what is the one wacky thing they remember that Twitch has done in the past couple months?
Well, that would be Doxy. And Loxy, of course. Loxy follows Doxy wherever he goes. Doxy looks like pretty short, like 3'2", something like that, somewhere in the mid 3 foot range, early 3 foot range, and has a vibrantly colored mohawk with all kinds of gadgets all over him, and some really like rad. He's like teched out basically. He's working on gadgets, probably like tinkering with something, and then would get interrupted by like a communication being like, this is not working with the dark matter engine, and running over and fixing something else. And so it's, a little bit of chaos, but controlled chaos. Similar to that day that the food replicator for 9 days straight could only make peanuts or peanut related things. Doxy was the one that was trying to fix it for 9 days, and Twitch was all kinds of messing with him. So that's what Doxy's been doing.
And we'll move the camera around to the same deck, the same level of the ship, through a corridor out of the engineering bay and into a darkened quarter, a darkened bedroom, where we find another member of the crew.
Is that me?
That would be Cedric. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I should have been a bit more.
I was like, well, maybe other people in the bedroom. I don't know. So the camera just kind of pans in, and my room is very dark, and sort of the table, it's covered with cauldrons and just bubbling potions, and you just see this form, darkened outline, and all these, strange glowing things in front of it, and just kind of turns around, and with this big giant maw and that weird shaped head, just reaches for another ingredient that it throws in the potion, and it starts to kind of fizzle up. And so the thing that Zredrick remembers, or the anomaly from Twitch, is that there was one day when the gravity was switched this way. So we were all kind of, taken aback and floating, and things weren't where they were supposed to be. So that's what she remembers.
And volleyball happened somehow in the cargo bay in like some weird, like 0G kind of environment.
It's been 28 minutes before the first Top Gun reference. Let's move up the elevator into the main deck, the main level of the ship. There is a med lab found there near the rear of the ship. I think I'll post a map of the ship on Twitter following this episode tonight so everyone can see what the ship looks like. But who do we find working in the med bay?
Hello. You find Kebachet. She is a Avira, but she has some complicated history with her other members of her race. Worship of the Void is somewhat frowned upon in certain circles. But she does recall, and she wonders why this ship probably appreciated her presence. For some reason, tracked down an exploding supernova and parked itself perfectly within range of observing it. It's quite extraordinary. I might have to talk to the ship and see if I can get it to do it again.
Doxy was definitely recording as much data as possible during that event.
Yes, data is always very important, but sometimes the void speaks to us, and we just need to be able to listen to it.
Down the corridor we pan to the bridge, where the ship's current pilot is at the controls.
And she sits kind of sprawled with her legs over one arm of the chair, just staring out into the star field. She appears mostly human, with blonde hair and a cowboy hat and a flight suit. The things that betray her not so human heritage are the two antennae which poke up through the cowboy hat, and the green iridescent scales which kind of frame her temples and down her neck, and presumably are on other places of her body. She chews away at a gumball that's in her mouth and just stares out, occasionally pushing a button to adjust a course or to check a readout, humming quietly to herself as we go.
And is Stella in the room with you?
No.
Okay. Good to know.
Stella is elsewhere.
Oh man, what shenanigans is Stella getting up to right now?
She's definitely not in my med bay. The door is locked.
Stella spent the last probably 45 minutes trying to figure out a way into the med bay that wasn't through the door. There was a tiny bit of whining and scratching. And then climbing into, pulling away a panel and trying to climb in, but it wouldn't come off all the way. And so then she probably ran along the corridor and is sat outside of Eddard's room because he has all the best toys.
But Eddard isn't in his room right now.
No.
Oh, your sound's very low, Alex.
And Stella is sat by the door, little screen around her neck. She's a very scruffy, small wolf-sized kind of canine. And she sits there and waits and kind of scratches at her ear occasionally, sometimes distracted by the sounds in the pipes of the ship. There are creatures moving around. That's what Stella's up to.
All right. And speaking of Eddard, the camera moves
she
back.
Forgot the wild magic surge.
Oh, yes. What do you remember, Lola, that happened a few months ago?
Oh, yes. Well, there have been a lot of things that have happened. But the thing that she remembered is Twitch had a freak out. Twitch decided not to fly the ship anymore. Or rather, not to let the ship fly anymore. For some reason, Twitch had a case of the vertigo and refused to move, because moving would cause Twitch to fall, and Twitch didn't want to fall. Twitch was very dizzy, and it was a nightmare for the pilot, who doesn't like sitting still, and who much prefers her ship to fly quickly places. And after everything that she knew to try, I think she probably went around the various members of the crew in hope of finding a solution.
Try to coerce it, try to engineer it, totally.
It took a mix of all of your concerted efforts to try to reassure the ship, to override the controls, take them, wrest them away from Twitch, and
I kind of want to say that we call the ship, because we have the name the Scarlet Trust, but like affectionately we just call her Scarlet.
Oh yes, I call her Scarlet every morning.
Yeah, okay. All right. I like this.
Did we try seducing the ship?
I certainly did. I had a much more pleasant conversation with her.
At some point, it might work.
Don't want to go there.
We're going back to the bridge. Sitting behind Lola is the last member of our crew, who's about to call everyone, I figure, to let them know what's going on.
I'm playing Zindak, as I said. He is the captain of this ship, and he's often found in more public areas of the ship. He's at times in his room when briefs need to be written or contacts need to be reached in private, but otherwise he's usually somewhere like the bridge. So he's a halfling, so he's rather short, about 2.5 feet tall, slick-backed blonde hair, and is most of the time dressed in a way that's more appropriate for a boardroom meeting than spacefaring adventures.
And just before anything happens, there's a record scratch, and the camera flips back into the rec room. The cameraman probably hits his head on the doorframe as he tries to spy on what Eddard is doing.
For a second, you see him just lift his head up from his book and just thinks that he heard something. Something that reminds him that the ship, not too long ago, decided to record everything that was being said and just play it back a few seconds later. So he closes his book, since it's a paper bag, just rolls it up, put it in his back pocket, gets up, pick up a bag of peanuts, because he actually did like that adventure, and starts strolling toward the bridge. As he enters, he is not as well dressed as the captain, but still likes to keep it tight and shiny.
A day in the life of a bodyguard / space marine.
Well dressed but ready for battle.
Indeed. Also, I'm looking for my grenades.
Important point.
You might want to check the small animal that seems to like taking things from your room.
I know. I'm waiting for her to come back.
So a few days ago, before the
strange incident that we have neglected to mention.
Oh boy.
That
Oh yes.
Might want to bring to our attention.
Yes, there was one day where we were traveling, and of course, Twitch being Twitch, decided to pull this right before we landed for an important diplomatic event. We were all suddenly Rothians for a day. Which, if you aren't familiar with the setting, Rothians are the literal boogeymen of the setting. They're the things that children are told stories about. You better be good or the Rothians will come get you. Mommy, can you check if there's a Rothian under my bed? Sort of situation. And we definitely don't normally have one on board. But that day, all of us were Rothians.
I seem to remember that it wasn't just us that were Rothians, but every living thing, even the plants that lined the hallway.
Correct. Yes, the plants, any living material took the form of a Rothian.
It was a wild day. I walked around a corner and all of a sudden there was a Rothian just standing there. And it was very small, but
a potted Rothian.
Scary. Yeah, pocket Rothian.
I mean, I think Stella would have. Yeah, I think Stella would have been polymorphed into a 4-legged Rothian.
And I think she probably peed on one of the potted Rothians. Because some things never change.
Well, it was quite entertaining. It's very useful to observe. Some people didn't handle it very well.
That would include Lola Lynn, who hid in her room for most of the day, having become one of her worst enemies.
I mean, I was mildly concerned about her mental health, but I didn't feel that it was appropriate to approach her when one was giving the appearance of what was causing the problem for her mental health. That would be slightly crass. But it was very hilarious to watch everyone else, I'm not going to lie.
I was going to go with foolish but yeah, crass as well. Especially knowing that Lola's probably armed all the time.
Yes, and I occasionally enjoy mostly preventing people from dying most of the time. Sometimes one just needs to assist one's journey.
Hasten the way to the void as it is. That being said, speaking of the void, you've exited the void. And you can feel it because, well, partly in the engineering bay, you can hear the dark matter engine just shudder and come to a halt. You can all feel the jaunt, the staggering of the ship as the faster than light travel comes to a slower than light speed of travel.
Was this a planned exit or an unplanned exit?
It is a planned exit.
Okay, I have to ask with the ship.
Yeah, no, it is planned. It is. You are in the sector and quadrant you needed to go to be in, which is on the very edge of known space.
All right, as we exit, I'll go ahead and beep on the intercom. All right, team, I need everyone to come to the briefing room. We've got some things to discuss.
But I'm mid-project right now. This isn't a good time.
I didn't say that we need to do this later. I said we need to do this now.
Okay. Doxy's like putting away some things and trying to have a semblance of organization and heads the way.
But of course, I'll be there. And then she just takes a moment to kind of adjust her feathers and make sure that everything looks pristine and there's no blood spatter anywhere, and just proceeds down the hall to the bridge, or the meeting room next to the bridge.
As you exit the med bay, Twitch chimes in and says, Dr. Kepichet, I fear that there is a 13% possibility of infection in your medbay at the moment. There are deposits of mammal saliva all over the vents. It seems to come from the other side of the vents.
Would you be a kind dear, and engage pest control protocols?
Oh, I fear Miss Johnson would be against it. Also, you're not my mother. Stop giving me orders.
No, I'm just the one who takes care of you every morning, aren't I?
Have I said anything?
Not at the moment.
Have a good day.
Enjoy yourself.
I wager you... Yep.
I was going to say, there's some sass in Twitch.
I'm not going to do a different voice for every incarnation of that thing, but assume that it speaks with the accent and inflection of every member of our community and chat at the moment.
So it's going to be very sassy. It's very, very sassy.
Yes.
I'm fine with it.
So you head over to the bridge. Lola was already in the bridge. Doxy, Loxy, head over. Eddard, you're one room away. Oh no, you entered with your sack of peanuts.
Yep. I was looking for Stella because she got stuff that belongs to me.
The grenades, yes.
As you enter the bridge with your sack of peanuts, you hear a slow whimper coming from the other end of the hallway. Just a...
I'm going to clutch my bag of peanuts a little bit tighter and turn around.
And you notice Stella has a pin.
Oh no.
Wait, just a pin?
Just a pin.
Oh no.
I'm going to take a step back inside of the bridge and press the button to close the door. There's nothing I can do.
Oh man.
Did the animal swallow something?
You will not see it because you closed the door. But after you close the door, Stella just picks the grenade from behind her back. Stella's a sheet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Picks the grenade from behind her back. She was still holding to the handle and puts the pin back in.
She's got opposable thumbs?
No, but she's very dexterous for some weird-ass coyote thing.
Oh.
Aliens, man. Aliens.
She's got a little bandolier type harness tool belt construction that she normally has her hunting trap kind of tethered to. I imagine she probably tucked it into the pocket of that. She's kind of scratched it out and it's rolled a little way along the floor, and then she's chased after it and she kind of and gets the
She's just going to keep playing with the grenade as if it was a ball.
Okay, so after a few seconds, there's no explosions, there's no detonation, there's nothing.
Nope. But after a few seconds, I'm going to move on to Zredrick in their room.
Zredrick will tidy up anything that's fallen due to the shuttering of the ship, any of those, potion bottles, straighten all that out, and then from a drawer, remove a hat that once they put it on, allows it to look like a Scathari. So it gets itself all ready, and then scuttles out to the lift to go up to the bridge as well.
Scathari, for those that don't know, are four-legged insect creatures that look somewhat mixed between a praying mantis and a horror. Pretty much.
That's me.
And Zredrick, you take the elevator up, and as the doors open, you just see this grenade roll by, and this small fluffy critter run after it.
And on her little screen, it just says "fetch!" exclamation point. Lit up in like little pixel art.
At this point, it's probably something that I'm used to seeing, so I'm not terribly alarmed by it. So I will just continue on my way to where I have been asked to meet. And as I do, once I see Doxy and Loxy, as I go in, I'll just like make eye contact with this like absurdly big smile that just kind of just keeps growing, and then I just move past.
And just to clarify, what would I know you as? Would I just know you as Cedric? But
yes.
Yeah, but they're a Scathari. They've always been a Scathari.
Right, yeah.
There's definitely not any Rothians on the ship.
No.
Except that one day.
Except when we were all Rothians.
Where I had locked myself in the engineering bay. That's I was kind of going, and similar to Lola, I do not do well with big scary creatures.
So you all gather in the bridge around the captain's seat.
What is this urgent thing you're asking for, Captain?
All right. Well, sorry, lost the voice.
It's okay.
All right, friends. Welcome to Ronnie 6. It's a little bit on the edge of the universe, but we got to deal with a little bit of repo business. There's a guy named Max Cabot. He decided he doesn't want to pay for the laser he bought. No big deal. So we're gonna retrieve it, and it's gonna be an in and out job.
Is this like the last in and out job you mentioned?
All the jobs, sometimes they're in and out, sometimes they get complicated.
Does this involve me climbing into vents again? I do not like confined spaces.
No promises. You're small, you fit in tiny places, and sometimes you gotta get the hacker or the engineer in those small spaces to fiddle with the doodads.
I was just messing with you. I love that place.
All right. Good. All right. So,
what is the likelihood of us getting shot at, blasted, and/or blown up?
He hasn't paid for a few months. He's got a laser, so 50-50.
Yeah, I like those.
So more closer to 80-90. Eddard, would you please be a dear and make sure you have all of the weapons? All of them?
I have only 2 hands. I'll have, of course, all my weapons.
I think I saw Stella playing with one of your grenades again.
Yeah, I know.
Lola, dear.
Can you please tell her to stop it with my grenades? She's gonna blow something up.
I imagine at this point we hear like a... Stella wants to be where the people are.
Yes, and I'm actually going to ask everyone to roll a perception check.
Oh.
Ooh, I can do that.
We get a roll.
First roll of the game!
height.
That's really
Perception. Oh, I can do that. Really, kind of okay, but
Thank
I
you,
can do it as
Frostbite.
poorly as I can. The lowest possible roll for me. That's a 9.
All right, a 9 and 11, 19 for Eddard, 16 for Lola, and what about Zredrick? A 7. So there's actually just Lola and Eddard that notice it. But as you hear the on the door, looking out, there's a so the ship doesn't really have a window per se. It's just flat panels that show you what's outside, a bit like the background that Charlie has at the moment. And you notice through the panels this tiny round object floating through space, followed by a pin.
Oh shit.
And it explodes harmlessly in the vacuum of space. Beyond that, however, you all notice Ronnie 6. Did I say that right? I made that planet up. I hope. Yeah, Ronnie 6. It is not a spherical planet. Not anymore, anyway. If you were to look at it, we'd say that the southeastern quarter portion of the planet blew outwards. And it created like this vast asteroid field. Some of which are just orbiting around the planet. From afar, the planet looks brown-orange. Like a sepia tone Mars, if you want to compare it to our world. To our universe. And it doesn't seem to have any orbiting stations. Oh my god, Devin has just blew everything out of the water. Okay, I'll finish with my description first. Thank you so much. But there are no orbiting platforms. No cruisers around the planet. There doesn't seem to be any traffic at all. This would look like a peaceful, retirement type of planet, if not for the fact that it seems that its core blew outwards, which means that this planet is likely to have some sort of very harsh climate. And Twitch notifies you that the planet has artificial gravity and an artificial atmosphere. So you're safe, you can breathe, and you can walk. But Twitch says I'm not going in the gooey center of that thing.
No, dear, we would never ask you to do so. What variant within the perception of norms for gravity and atmosphere?
What, sorry?
Which variant of perception of norms? Higher, lower?
Oh,
standard?
the atmosphere is slightly more... I'll compare it to Earth, okay? Just for all of our, benefit. The air is slightly dustier all around. So it's
like
Los
the
Angeles
dust
everywhere.
bowl. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dust Bowl years.
Like a Dust Bowl area,
Dust
that
Bowl
type of thing. And the gravity is 95% that of the Earth.
Oh, okay, so a little bit lighter.
So you're a little bit lighter, but not by enough to say... Like, if you were born on that planet, you would probably, over the course of your existence, grow an inch taller than you would have on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not enough to mess up your internal organs or atrophy your muscles or anything like that.
I would have Loxy begin doing like kind of database search / analysis of the planet, like if within their compendium of knowledge / connectivity had access to information that beyond what Twitch has already said.
Yes. Can you make a... That would be like a technology roll.
Which, by the way, is a skill from Dark Matter. So
Yeah, it is a skill from Dark Matter. I was going to say galactic lore, but that's because of Star Wars. So I was all messed up for a second.
I just want to know if this is how the planet was before the person got the laser, or is that something that you would know?
That...
It was a powerful mining laser. I've never been here before. I really don't know if it was him, if it was some other guy mining, or if it was something like a, nuclear war or something. I don't concern myself with these things.
I got a 23.
23. All right, here's what you know. It used to be spherical.
Okay.
The core of this planet is made out of one of the strongest material in the known universe, something called adamantine. There is a nucleus inside the planet covered by roughly a few kilometers thick of adamantine, and then dust, dirt, and other deposits around it.
A candy coating.
A candy coating, yep. So how many licks does it take to get to the center of adamantine planet?
Lots of layers.
Well, someone tried it.
Ah.
A dwarf by the name of Thormund. Years ago. Blew up a nuke inside a hollowed out sphere of adamantine. So they mined it down. It took years for them to get, a few thousand feet within the adamantine coating, and he detonated a nuke. It caused a chain reaction that blew outwards part of the planet, rendering it inhospitable. It took years of terraforming, and it's still not. You can live on it because of the fake atmosphere, the artificial gravity and everything, but this planet is more or less a ticking time bomb.
Got it.
At some point, it will implode.
Do you share this data with everyone?
So, I mean, I would basically have I guess what I would call a hard light interface, kind of like pop up in front of me, and all this data kind of starts. You see, I'm looking through the view screen. It's kind of like an extension of a HUD from what you would have in the bridge. But I basically take that hard light and I kind of toss it up onto the normal view screen so you guys can all see what I've been kind of doing on my own little side analyses with Loxy. And I say, it seems like there's something quite valuable here on this planet that it looks like a gentleman by the name of Thormund tried to get access to quite abruptly, and there's a time limit to how long this is going to be stable. I would, however, love to get maybe a little bit of this adamantine if it's exposed. It kind of does a couple of things with the numbers and looks to you, Simon. Is the adamantine exposed now that he's Thormund explode this core or this layer?
There is partly exposed adamantine, but all of the meteors around, you can surmise that they are all made out of adamantine. It's just mining the thing, and that might be why this person, this Cabot fellow, was so interested in this mining laser. There's not a lot of things that can go through adamantine. It is very difficult to harvest, very difficult to manufacture, very difficult to work with. It's so difficult, in fact, that it's mostly like a luxury alloy more than actually something that you would find a use for. You've seen or you've heard of gladiatorial pit fighters in Lakshay that have weapons made out of adamantine, mostly for the show, but also because it cuts through everything like butter. Mm-hmm. But it is, if anything, it'd be nice to gather it, but it would take a while. Which I mean, you guys aren't, and I forgot to tell you that, Zandak, but your assignment isn't timed in any way. Of course, the longer you take, the less favorable your evaluation might be. But nothing prevents you from taking, a month, a year, a decade, if you wanted.
Yeah. Hey, so, we might be able to gather this. We're going to have to play it by ear. We really do need to wrap this up quickly. We do have other things that we do need to get to. If there's some laying around, we'll grab it for you, all right?
But there's exposed exotic matter right in front of us.
Well, you know what? If you want to stay on this planet and mine it while we go and do better things, you're more than welcome.
Okay.
I mean, I'd be concerned about your health, dear. It doesn't seem that this is a very hospitable location.
This is quite true.
Yeah, you said something about imploding. Also, you mentioned a Thor guy. He got a hammer real hard. Only he can pick it up.
Thor. I
No, I
believe
do-
his name was Thormund, but
Oh,
I can see the misunderstanding. Yes, it's a very similar name. Yes.
I gotcha. All right. So Lola, can you take us down to the planet? We need to pay this Max a visit.
Do you have the coordinates?
Yeah, it's
You were given coordinates for where to land. Yeah, because there are no spaceports, so it's really just a geographical coordinate.
Latlongs.
As you approach the planet, Twitch pipes up. Actually, locks down the controls of everything in the ship,
Oh no.
and says, "Oh, I have news for you. Seems like I've managed to unlock a few rooms, but I know you're all busy and everything, so I might just keep them locked for the time being. Who knows? We've unlocked, thanks to the donations that came in, 2 of the rooms aboard the ship. The first one being... I'm only going to give you guys the names because, yeah. You've unlocked the Hallway of Death
Oh, good.
and the Arcane Laboratory.
What?
You're free to explore them when you get back to the ship or after, but know that these rooms are now unlocked for your viewing pleasure.
As this announcement comes across, Lola pats her lap so that Stella will come and sit in her lap because she doesn't want Stella going exploring.
I don't think Stella can open the doors by herself. Unless
Well,
it's
I'm not
dramatically
taking
appropriate.
that risk.
Alright. And I would need everyone to roll, because we have 8 rolls for the ship surge. Zendak already rolled
Oh,
one, that's
jeez.
going to be hilarious. But what about the others? So a D225. And these, by the way, while everyone is rolling, I just want you to know, everyone who's donating, anyone who's participating, anyone who wants to play Twitch, which right now holds the personality of Devin, apparently.
We're all gonna die.
If for any reason one of the surge doesn't apply right away, because some of them are like when the crew comes back to the ship later. If it's not within the session tonight, it'll be in the session the next week. So everything is kept up. I have a tally of everything, of all the possible reason on how you could screw the entire crew up. And don't worry, I will make sure that... Oh my god, what is this?
I don't know. It will not end well.
Wild Magic Surge TPK incoming.
No.
We're all gonna be Rothians again.
I do.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we need 2 more. Oh, whoops. That's not what was supposed to
Close,
be.
but no cigar.
Some of them actually will go off without you necessarily noticing a difference for now.
Shall we roll the final one for
lovely.
Stella?
Yes,
Um,
roll the final one for Stella.
Come on, Stella,
wait,
give us
wait,
something
wait.
good.
113.
Yep, that's a different number. 146.
Who rolled a 113? Kebichet?
Yes, that would be me.
Oh, Kebichet. Well, as you're standing in the bridge, Twitch goes, decontamination shower ready. And there's just a tiny pipe that pops out of the ceiling and sprays Kebichet with like this yellowish cloud of powder. And you now smell like a skunk dyed in your clothes.
No.
And you are all ready and everything. Oh.
You know, I really do appreciate your attempts to make sure there is health and safety overboard this ship. I would prefer it, however, my dear, if you could deal with the animals and not me. I'm going to take a shower.
Please
Which
do that.
which Twitch replies, "Oh, I've dealt with the animals, all right. Zredrick, what is your familiar as a witch?"
Today it is the mock.
The mock. What does it look like for people at home?
Depends on who it's pranking at that day. And
no.
it is currently in Doxy's workroom, pretending that it's a tool of some kind.
So, the tool comes jaunting in the bridge.
Wait, does it have like arms and legs and stuff?
No, it's just, let's say it's like a hopping hammer with
Okay.
googly eyes.
So kind of like Beauty and the Beast style, candelabra kind of thing. All right.
And it looks up to the monitor that Twitch normally is displayed on, which is like the Twitch symbol. And it sprouts two tiny wiggly arms and snaps finger guns at Twitch. And then looks at Zred and says, "Look at me. Look at me.
I do.
You're the familiar now. You do everything I say.
Can I stomp on it?
Okay.
For this one session, your familiar has an intelligence of 25, is self-aware, and claims you as its familiar.
Dear Lord.
Oh no.
So it can technically
doomed.
see through your eyes for the entire session, because Twitch
doomed.
just somehow made it self-aware. Twitch has... remember, everything that happens as a reason... Everything that happens as far as surges go is a tiny inkling of revelation as to what Twitch and the ship used to be for. Oh boy.
And at the time that happens, Kibachit just looks down at it, looks to Zred, looks back at it. "I'm surprised you kept it as long as you did, dear. I'm going to take a shower. Have fun with that."
Oh, Twitch says, "No need to take a shower, Miss Kevichet. I have it right here." And there's another pipe that comes down, except it's not over your head, it's over Zendak's head and chair, and he is just soaked in cold water. Like an ice bucket challenge just happened. Bam.
I have to admit to being slightly entertained by that, my dear. And she just kind of and walks out.
This suit costs more than this whole damn ship.
I cost
Dry
more
clean
than this
only.
whole damn ship.
Dry clean only.
Well, I can clean you if you want. And you see there's another arm that comes out, and it's just a tiny
Nope.
lighter that lights up.
Wait, was it water?
And then there's another pipe. And he's like, "No, you're sure?
Nope.
No? It technically counts as dry cleaning."
Twitch. No.
Alright,
I don't need you to set me on fire. I'm good. I'm good.
I should have gone with the yarn ball today and not the mock. Gosh.
It's okay. You have a talking hammer. Loxy turns to you, Doxy, and says, "How does parenthesis for the DM? How does Loxy refers to you? Because I just went ahead and I assumed mistress for Zred, but that is only because they're a witch, and I don't know what's your relationship with your familiar, so let's just fix that right away."
I think Loxy would just would call me like
Hey, bro.
would be like sir or yeah, something like that. But maybe with like a joking tone as well. So like every now and then be like, "Oh yes, master," something like that.
All the AIs are sassy. What the hell?
I mean,
Loxy looks at you and says, "Sir,
yes.
I don't feel so good."
I immediately like pull up an interface and like start looking at diagnostics of Loxy. Do I find
Loxy
anything?
is currently being updated.
Updated.
Yep, by Twitch.
Oh.
Yes, it's the Twitch surprise patch number 1.03.
That's gonna
Oh,
be
man.
great.
So I'm
Even
just gonna.
in space, we have Windows 10.
Yep. And it's running your ship and your
Security
life
update.
support.
Hey, it could be worse. It could be Vista.
However,
Oh,
because
man.
of Kebichet's ritual of antivirus every day,
Mhm.
you know what this software is about. So I'm gonna ask you, Eddie, to note down the next time you cast a spell.
Okay, well, I'm a gadgeteer.
Well, the next time you use a gadget,
Okay.
Loxy. Thank you, Chris, for the follow. Loxy from this point on will have something special. So I just really need to know the next time you use a gadget what it is, and then I'll let you know what happens to Loxy then.
Got it. Okay.
But it is not a negative thing. It is beneficial.
Nice. Yeah.
Otherwise, antivirus wouldn't have led through. Last thing before you... So, controls go back to the ship, and you keep descending towards the planet. And then an alarm blares up. There's something that pings on the radar. Something's coming at you fast
Uh-oh.
from starboard.
Doxy would immediately take like a co-pilot position and start like trying, or rather run to the engineering bay. I'll be down engineering if you need me.
All right. What is everybody else doing?
Lola is going to try and get access to her flight control panel again, it having been shut down by Twitch.
They gave it back to you after the shower incident.
I'm going to go to the starboard gun and man it.
All right.
I'm changing.
You go back to your quarters to change.
You got
Kevin,
this under control, guys.
Kebichet, I'm coming out of my quarters. And thus begins another day. Really, this is quite entertaining. You don't see much of this in where I'm from. Well, I'll be in the med bay for when you start all bleeding profusely, and if you actually need me to do something, well, I'll be there. Darlings.
And what about Zred?
I'm just gonna look at my mock that's being so sassy, like, all right, I'm following you.
The hammer goes, all right. Go get me a coffee.
Does it have a
Hey.
mouth?
I don't. I will, I guess.
Hey,
I'll go get a coffee.
But before I go, could one say it's a hammer time?
Oh.
Oh, I'll give you that one.
All of
Why
a
was
sudden,
that-
Twitch goes, uh-oh, and the entire captain's quarters are just jettisoned into space.
Oh, the suits.
My wardrobe.
As you reach the... So right before we do the thing and I go back to Doxy, you get to the kitchen, Zredrick, and... well, you remember the peanut incident?
Oh God, do I?
Now it's going to be called the jelly bean incident.
Oh,
And you don't know for how
I-
long, but your coffee machine just spews forth jelly beans.
that's I don't eat anything, so I didn't have to worry about the peanut incident. But I'm kind of okay with the jelly bean incident.
Twitch
So
goes, you look like you were needing some sugar.
Thanks. And I eat one very reluctantly, but then I just give it the cup full of jelly beans. Like, as far as I know, that's coffee.
Sorry,
The
have
hammer
a
takes it and
famously
just
nectar-based
pours.
diet.
What? Sorry?
Sorry, have a famously nectar-based diet, so this was as close as Twitch could get.
Who's looking at the radar? Who's manning the radar? That would be Lola. The thing that's coming at you is coming at you fast, and it's actually right now on par with the ship. And Eddard can see it from his gunner position. Outside the window, the screen. It is a cruise missile.
Well, I'm going to fire as soon as I can.
It winks at you and disappears.
Wait, it literally winks at me?
Yep. There was a set of eyes, googly eyes on that cruise missile. and it just winked at you, and it went through a void portal and disappeared.
Yeah, in my mind, it's Gritty's eyes. That's really what it was.
It's what?
Was the hammer with Zred when this missile popped up?
Yes.
Okay.
In my head, it's kind of like in Who Framed Roger Rabbit when he gets out the little cartoon bullets and they've all got like
Yeah. They all have personalities and names.
In that case, I'm gonna just open up a channel to Lola and be like, the missile disappeared, and I think it was flirting with me.
What do you mean flirting with you?
Before vanishing, it winked at me.
I know you think you have a lot of sexual attraction going on, but I don't think missiles feel that way about people.
I'm not one to judge. But the missile is gone. Is the alarm still blaring?
I want to check the radar and scan the area if I can't see the missile. Pretty please.
You see it for a split second before it actually disappears. There's a burst of energy right before it disappears. Like a smaller scale of the energy that that the ship has when you jump. When you make a jump yourself, I mean, not when you go through a Moss station.
Okay. So
So
kind of like
it's-
what happens with the dark matter engine when it's like
Yep.
going through a warp jump.
So this missile apparently has
Oh
A
man.
warp jump
a
technology.
warp jump technology. Yeah.
This reminds me of a Star Trek Voyager episode. It's like a super sentient missile that warps through space.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Oh no.
Oh god. It's gonna come back in on.
We're gonna have a missile that stalks us and like starts flirting with the
Sexually harasses members of the crew.
I'm not okay with that.
Eddard's gonna get all of these like stalkery emails.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god.
All of your posts on Facebook are liked by UNSC Missile 123.
Eddard's is gonna ask me like, can you like add a filter to my email inbox?
It's gonna Photoshop itself in all of your pictures.
Oh my
It's gonna
gosh.
order a body pillow of you. So,
Did someone just buzz our tower? Is that what just happened to us?
what?
I mean, it very much appeared that way.
Oh my
Someone
god.
just buzzed us.
Top Gun reference number 2.
Yeah.
You crash and burn, that's it.
Ah.
You do actually land on Nori 6. And
Alright.
Sounds like we got out of the danger zone there.
Oh.
Nerd.
I just still have like this glazed over look on my face, so I'm just looking at my now sentient mock. It's now it's familiar. Whatever. Today's just been weird. Just okay.
Since it's got such a high intelligence, I'm now going to imagine it's got Stephen Fry's voice. Because he is both funny and very smart.
Yeah, but I can't do that voice.
It's a little terrifying that a being that exists to pull pranks now has an intelligence of 25.
Yeah.
It's
Just
also you have to consider that your ship has the ability to turn objects sentient.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's pretty wild.
It's
Or
not
actually
just
semi-sentient objects completely self-aware. It
Yep.
has that possibility. So,
Okay.
you land on Nori 6. Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
The hammer's like, yeah, I'm in control.
Is
You
your
sure
hammer gonna
are.
walk over there, or are you gonna pick it up, or?
No, it can jump. It like sort of does this like cartoon jumpy motion thing.
Oh God.
I have an idea. Okay, I'll wait later.
The ship lands in what could only be considered as a desert. There's a few trees, a few shrubs here and there, and this settlement.
Oh, there's a settlement where okay, yeah.
There is a dotted line drawn in a crease in the middle of a dirt road which is about itself 20 feet wide. On each side of the road lie a few houses, most of them built with local materials. A big mix of orange wood and dark gray steel. On the one side are most of the town's businesses. The other hosts cottages of various size. At the end of the road, in the distance, maybe about a kilometer away, lies an impressive building through which a tunnel was dug. It looks sort of like like if someone added a steeple to an arch. The town itself is just a single street. Looks like an old west settlement. You have to land on either side of the dotted line, but you cannot lie within that like 20 feet area around the dotted line. This is something that Twitch notices. Like there is a message that is sent to every ship approaching that you need to dock on either side, but not in the middle.
Would we know, like, was it specified that we don't cross the line at all, or is it more?
Oh, you can cross it. Twitch says you can
just
cross it at your own risk.
Okay. Lovely. Well, Doxy would immediately like bring up kind of like a tricorder like device. I would kind of imagine it not as well sleek like a tricorder in some ways, but he's got kind of a glove that extends outward to kind of have different sensors kind of going off of it. And so he's like, okay. And then like again, hard light interface kind of pops up, giving him all kinds of data and information. It's like, okay, well, basically just looking around, making sure there's no one kind of scanning, any technology is not being used kind of to actively perceive them. And
someone actually scanned your ship when you landed.
Oh.
I think Lola being Lola is going to park on that dotted line.
Twitch says, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Just pats. I wouldn't do a lot of things you do either.
Oh.
Just remember, I told you so.
Gumball in the mouth. Wanders away from her bridge station.
The person or thing that scanned your ship came from a building on the right side of town, about in the middle. A structure called the watering hole. There's an antenna above it, so it's one of the only ones that looks more. I'm not gonna say modern, but looks more of a
Advanced?
type. Yeah, advanced. Thank you. Than the rest of the settlement. Probably was the first or second building that was built there.
I would have probably said to those kind of like an open comms. It seems we've been scanned by some sensory devices over in that building. I imagine that if we're looking for anyone, that would be where we would look.
Seems like a reasonable thing to assume. Do I have any other information contrary to that?
Nope.
Or do I only know that this person's on this planet?
This person is on this planet.
And that's
it
all I
is
know.
a mining magnate. Magnate. Anyway. And it's... well, no, you would know that they reside in the arch structure. Because you would have their personal address.
Okay, so I actually have their address.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's like 15 buildings, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of information can save a lot of time. We're going to this address. Maybe that building checks out. Maybe it doesn't. I don't really know. You want to type it in the GPS? We can find out.
Twitch says, why would you need a GPS? It's right ahead of us. I mean, Lola parked me right in the middle of town.
Yeah, just trying to determine
Well,
which
you are
building's
right.
which. They're not exactly clearly marked.
Also, dear, she wanted to show you off. You are very kind and beautiful.
But thank you so much.
Indeed.
No.
Kev's being nice. Kev is after something.
Yeah.
So you all get off the ship?
Yeah.
Do you?
I would. That's kind of what I was assuming when I pulled out the
Alright.
sensor array.
Lola
Okay,
will
no
stay on
problem,
the
yeah.
ship.
Lola stays on the ship? Okay.
Not a bad idea. We might need a quick getaway, but you might get bored. Who knows how long it'll take?
I reach into my pocket and I pull out this. It looks like a Scathari as made by Funko, and she just kind of squeezes it, and it makes like a squeaky noise, and she throws it, and Stella bolts down the corridor to go and catch it, to go and fetch it.
All right, I can't argue with that. All right, well,
Lola, darling.
if she gets bored, she can message us and catch up. Otherwise, if she wants to stay here, who am I to argue?
I'm locking the doors in the med bay and ensuring that that animal can't get in.
Fair enough. It's your domain.
I feel like Stella probably like barks at Kev a little bit, but then gets distracted by the squeaky toy. Carries on.
She doesn't have a big attention span.
She just kind of sides eye out of her very large, like, eagle face and just goes, there was a time when I used to eat such animals.
Hey Stella, don't listen to the angry bird. If you want something, later, come to me. I'll get you some bird that isn't so
In charge of your health and ensuring your continued survival.
I was gonna say angry.
In charge of your health and in your continued survival. I'm well aware of my position here.
Yes, it's you can be more than one thing.
Stella is sat like on her butt, and she's like got her head cocked, listening to both sides of the conversation. And then when it's finished, she kind of nudges the toy towards
Zendak?
Yes, Zandak. That one.
Zindak will pick it up, toss it in his hand once, and then say, "Go fetch," and toss it.
All right. And you...
Fetch. Right.
I seem to be sensing something out here. I'm not sure what it is, though.
All right, let's check it out, Doxy. Let's check it out. Yeah, we've been here for a minute.
So you leave
More
for
than
the
likely
watering
we've
hole?
attracted some attention, so if there's any kind of a constabulary force, they might be interested in seeing about our parking job.
Yeah. So like I'd kind of be I'd kind of beckon to Eddard. Eddard, I may need you here. You never know what's going to be on a planet that's likely to implode at any moment.
Oh, I'm going with. I want to see what's going on here.
As a general rule, when you exit the ship and you travel as a group, what's your formation? How do you walk around one another? Assuming you have the room, like that we're not stuck in a tight corridor or anything.
I would assume, unless we're expecting combat, I would probably lead the charge. Just kind of like, this is my crew, and I'm assuming they're following me.
Good point.
Assuming.
And,
I would probably be paired with Eddard at some level.
Side by side.
Yeah, and then Loxy would be floating around or in some shape or another, either on Eddard's shoulder or just kind of wander around.
Keb would be Kebichad would be towards the back and occasionally making snarky commentary with Zred in various languages.
Yes.
all right. Just
Lola and Stella, when they are there, would probably be somewhere in the middle, around probably Eddard, near the front, maybe. Kind of just on the outside edge, and just kind of moving to wherever she...
okay. Like the whole group, and you're just on the outskirts of it.
Yeah. I would probably be somewhere in the middle.
As you exit the ship, so the platform comes down, and you all get off the Scarlet Trust. You notice that there's nobody outside.
Maybe they're
no
working.
gawkers, no constabulary,
Oh.
no animals. As you exit the ship, Twitch says, "Oh, Captain Highhill, I made sure that that you wouldn't be so culturally shocked by the people that live on Nori 6. You can thank me later.
What's that mean?
Bye-bye. And the platform just recedes into the ship.
Oh no!
Oh God! What did he do? What did Twitch do?
Captain, I think Twitch doesn't like you as much.
I've picked up on that too.
It's because you're not very polite.
You
It's
know,
very nice and
You could try being nicer to it.
But we're talking about the ship now, right? Being
Yes,
nice
of
to
course.
a ship?
I was nice. I was nice until Twitch ruined a suit. It was a few platinum. The money doesn't grow on trees.
indeed.
No, but it grows on planets where we could grab some piece of rocks. And sell it.
Anyways, well,
I mean, that adamantine is right there.
yeah, that adamantine's right there, but it's heavy and it might not necessarily fit on the ship without cutting it down, which is going to take a minute. So let's just get this laser, get out, and move on to the next thing.
All right, I begin scanning to try to find, do I have any data details of, what I'm looking for?
I mean, you have the address and you know it's a mining laser.
You know that
Okay.
the place that scanned you out was the watering hole.
Okay.
And there's even a sign, like a hovering neon sign, if you will. It says the watering hole, and there's a small animation of someone just splashing water or drinking with two
No problem.
frames. Otherwise, you know that, the arch structure with the steeple is where Mr. Kabat lives.
So I would probably be
Got it.
scanning for the laser, and then I'd say, lead on. I'll keep an eye out on my scanners.
The laser is in the steeple.
Oh,
It
It's
has
over
a
there.
distinct it has a distinct energy signature. Enough that and even if you were just to walk around and get closer to the building, you would actually see it.
so I would point out it's over there. Lead on.
All
Wait,
right.
wait.
Wait.
Yes.
She taps her comms. Lola, darling. You parked us in the firing lane.
Oh. That makes sense. Dotted
Ah.
line leads
So-
to where the firing line happens.
So I'm going to say, please move the goddamn ship sun's damned ship while I move myself over here at quick speed.
All right,
Out of line of
let's pick up the pace. Lola, you move the ship like the bird said. And
You call me that again, I'll hit you.
was it wrong? Is it an accurate statement?
Yes, extremely. Do I call you a monkey?
There's a few differences. No tail. Lack of fur. You got a beak. You got
Yes, but I also have other things that other avians don't have. Not
I
a
feel like
bird.
midway through
I can
this,
call you a monkey.
the engines, the ship will kind of pick up, assuming Twitch lets me turn her on. Just to an idle, and she just very slowly just pulls this ship over to the side of the line.
Twitch says, good. Good. You don't listen to me, but you listen to Miss Cabichet. Noted.
It's merely because they don't understand you, dear. I'm sure that in the future they'll listen to you much more frequently.
Nobody understands me. And then the ship sprouts black bangs. No, actually, it doesn't. I have to be precise when I mess around with the ship in this case.
Oh God.
I will ask my mock in a snarky tone, like, all right, so what ideas do you have? Like, what have you got for us? Come on.
Oh, I was thinking you can either ask around for what's going on and what this line is, but I will assume, that your doctor said, that, this is sort of a firing lane. Also, whoever's in charge of that laser is probably somewhere in the buildings around, but, I mean, I could do everything myself, but wouldn't that be a bit boring?
Oh
Ooh.
god.
You know. Well, yeah, it would be.
Can I pick up the hammer?
Hey, you don't touch
Hey.
the hammer.
You can't touch that. But okay, so yeah, let's get out of the firing lane. Let's get this laser, like I said. Let's just hurry this along.
All right.
And Zindak starts marching along, making a little bit of a detour to make sure that they are out of the firing lane.
All right. So out of the crease.
Yes.
That's in the... Okay. Do you head for the steeple building or any other...
I'm heading directly for the
Directly
laser.
for the steeple building.
Mhm.
Can we clear the watering hole first, since there's something about scan dust, either automatic or not? We might want to know what's there first.
It's probably automatic. We don't see anyone here. If we can just get this laser without dealing with people, that might be a little bit easier. Because while we are in the legal right to reclaim this laser because of missed payments, sometimes
We're going to get
People
shot
in-
again, aren't we?
probably.
All right.
That's why I'm trying to hurry this along. Don't want to hold us here too long. Have some locals come out with their firearms.
Zendak, after saying that, Zendak comes out of the watering hole and says, "Hey, you might not want to stay in the street for so long. The rock is due to arrive any minute soon. Just come in.
The rock?
The-
Wait, Zandak? Listen, I can deal with one of you, not two of yous.
Twitch. All right.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. Let's go in. Let me
Of course.
something real quick. Anyone got a marker or something?
I mean,
Yeah.
if you really, really want, I can ensure that you don't look like anybody else.
Last time I took you up on that offer, I was hurting for a minute. So, thank you, but no thank you.
Your
Doxy
choice.
Doxy out of his many tool pockets or pouches, pulls out a handy dandy marker and says, "All right, let's make this a little bit easier on us." And he draws like some kind of crazy.
I give you my
We'll
hand.
Okay, do like a spiral galaxy on his hand.
All right. Thank you very much, Doxy. I greatly appreciate
Of
it.
course, I don't get to practice my artistic talents all that often. So
All right. So let's go into this watering hole and find out what Twitch has done and what the hell this rock is.
As
I thought
you-
this was going to be easy.
I mean, a rock is definitely a piece of terrain from the planet, or perhaps a meteor, or perhaps the adamantine. I mean,
it's also an actor, so
But in this case, he would be called Space Rock. You open the swinging door, the saloon-like doors to the watering hole, and inside you notice there's like 36 Sandaks. All of them with a spiral galaxy shape.
Doxy immediately begins scanning, and it's like, ooh.
And they're
hello.
all just sitting and talking exactly like Zandak.
I thought
All
I was
of them.
clever.
This reminds me of the Rothian incident.
And that's where we're going to take a break.
Oh.
And during break, we're going to roll for the other things. I don't have like a break overlay, so I'll treat y'all to the intro sequence on repeat for the next 5 to 10 minutes.
They're gonna go crazy.
Yeah, I know.
No,
I
they're
love
not.
it.
It's magic sword music. Like
I know, but
So
it
see
can only
you
take so
in
much awesome.
see you
That's
in
true.
5 to 10 minutes.
See you guys.
Hey, we're back. Hey, we're back. My mic was a bit too far. So, we return to Dark Matter with all the rolls that were rolled. It's going to be funny. So, after a few seconds, all the Zendak lookalikes glitch out of existence.
Oh.
And beneath them, what was essentially a holographic projection, are the numerous patrons of this establishment. Most of them are humans or near human. You see one or two orcs. No dwarves, no gnomes, no halflings. There is one Skitari there, and there is one Nautilid, this giant suit of what would be like an old-timey diver's suit, filled up with water, and it's actually the creature tending the bar. It's got like a little bowler hat on top of the helmet.
Nice.
This all makes sense. And Doxy's like taking down notes and kind of, I will have to browse this data later.
Well,
It's on the side.
When in Rome, Zindak's going to approach the bartender.
I'm gonna be eyeing the orcs.
What can I do for you?
I wasn't expecting that.
Whoa! Oh, hi there. You're interesting. Anyways, can I get a drink and just whatever you got.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, here. And do they take credits here or coin?
That would be coin here.
Okay.
That's
Right
free.
here.
First one's on the house.
Thank you. Now
Like-
I got a couple questions. I'm new here.
Yeah, we
As I
saw
drink my
that.
drink.
That's a
Yeah.
very weird chip you have.
You're telling me. Well, we looking for a friend. His name's Max. Max Cabot.
Oh, Mayor Cabot. Yeah, I know him well.
Oh,
Him and I go way back.
Oh yeah. Tell me more about that.
Well, he's the... And as he starts talking, you notice all the glasses begin to shake and tremble.
Mm-hmm.
Ripples are made inside everybody's drinks. And then the furniture starts trembling. And then the
Doxy would like
chairs.
have a seismic monitor. Kind of like,
It's low, but it's
Okay.
there. Yet everyone reacts like you would react in San Francisco during an earthquake. Everyone just goes about their business. You're the only 6 people that find it maybe a bit strange. And then there's this very, very loud noise, like metal screeching on metal.
I'm gonna assume all that racket's the mining laser.
Yeah, it's shooting! Shouts the barkeep over the sound of this. It's like someone was sharpening a butcher knife, but the butcher knife was, like 10 feet wide against another 10 feet wide piece of steel.
It's very, very pleasant.
Yeah, if you look out the window, you'll see it!
You've seen one laser, you've seen them all. But
No, look! And for those that look, it's not a laser in the street. It's a giant meteor made of adamantine that floats
Oh.
about 10 feet off the ground. That passes where the dotted line is.
oh,
Settlements built in the path of the meteor. That's how we harvest them. They go through. And, time to go to work, I guess. And the Nautilid takes off his bowler hat and puts on a hard hat, which practically everyone does in the watering hole. And they all go outside.
hey, before you leave,
Oh, yeah.
can you point me in the direction of the mayor?
He's in the office. It's normally the guy operating the laser. He likes it.
So, in that building over there, then.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. You know what? Hey, let me leave you a tip. I know. First one's on the house, but you've been kind. here's some 5 silver here.
Oh, you're too kind, sir. What's your name?
The name's Zindak.
Hi, Zindak. Nice to meet you. I'm Bob the Destroyer.
Good to meet you. Good to meet you, Bob the Destroyer. Good to meet you. All right. What? I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Enjoy your stay.
Yes,
was
thank
fucking
you.
high
Enjoy
pitch.
your work. All right. Yeah, he's operating the laser while the town goes to work. Let's pay our friend a visit.
Indeed. Do you need... you didn't drink any of that, right?
Of course I did.
She's going to pull out like a medical tricorder and just go, just ensure you're not infected with any worms or anything.
Maybe
Maybe one of those fancy drink that already has a worm in it.
you get so many shots. I'm sure I'm immune to whatever it is, if there's anything. But feel free to check.
Are you immune? So that means that you're now immune to radiation as well as other things as well.
I've lost count of how many shots you've given me. I don't know what they all do. I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. This is credit to you. Is why I'm so confident.
I'm quite sure.
Can you
I've
make a
received
medicine
so many
check,
shots of
Kevin?
placebo from her that I must be immune to everything at this point.
I'm sorry. What did you say, Simon?
Oh, I asked Kebechet for a medicine check.
That's a 23.
Or actually, he's red as well, since you're there. You both
Meanwhile,
know.
Doxy would be
That is good.
scanning the kind of gravitational effects that is happening with like this meteor that's now floating above everything.
Make a, Oh, it passed, by the way. It just went
Yeah.
past at, like, quite an impressive speed. If the ship had still been there, the ship would have been rammed into by a meteor made out of adamantine.
And just out of clarity, so there's the arch with the steeple.
The meteor goes under the arch.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
so the laser
And the
is
laser
like,
beam.
Laser points down.
Gotcha. Okay. I understand now.
If Lola hadn't still been on board, I wouldn't have mind Twitch getting some sense knocked into him with one of those meteors, maybe.
You don't need to be rude,
Hey, he's not here.
but I'm quite sure she can hear you.
He's just quite easily misunderstood, or they are just quite easily misunderstood. I mean, it's an AI that's very, very old and very advanced.
That's why I the whole concern about hearing. That's why I keep my comm off unless I need it.
And that's why you haven't heard the last 6 times I've called you for medicine checks. I understand now.
Your comms pop up all at once, and Twitch says, "Wait, I've seen this before."
Before.
Never mind.
I wanna
Carry
look
on. Carry
At
on.
my
Wait, Twitch.
at
send
my
me the-
familiar. Say what?
While your ship's precognizant, or whatever that word is supposed to be.
No, this couldn't possibly cause problems.
Twitch, send me the data.
Which is what? What data?
What you were just talking about. Send it to me.
He sends you back the soundbite of you talking about Twitch.
Okay, we'll talk about this later.
The 2 medics, the drinks, as you look at the drink and smell the drink that's in that used to be in Zendak's shot glass, and then look at all the bottles behind the bar. It's all various forms of water, like water with taste in it, flavored water.
Oh.
But there's nothing else that we should be concerned about, correct?
No, it literally is a watering hole.
Well, that's pretty entertaining.
Yeah. All right. So let's pay the mayor a visit.
When you exit the place, the watering hole, the saloon, you notice all the workers are picking up scraps of adamantine from the street. The meteor, which Loxy had time to analyze it as it was going past, basically the way the laser works is, let's assume this meteor is round, right? Every time it goes under the laser carves a section of it off, breaks it in, at least breaks the section that it's able to break into multiple slivers that people then pick up, gather, or try to break apart into smaller pieces. At some point, the laser is going to be able to go through and cut the meteor clean in half. At which point, it'll probably fall down to the ground due to a lack of gravitational pull. And then people can just keep hacking at it or use the laser to cut it into whatever forms they desire. It's going to take a few months for this one to be done.
Processed?
Yeah, cut completely.
Gotcha.
So if we go over there and reclaim that laser, it will mess up the livelihood of these people.
Well, it's obviously they're not doing very much livelihood if they can't afford to pay their bills.
Hey, a man takes out a loan, he buys a laser, he chooses not to pay the loan. There's consequences.
Oh, I agree with you. I just want to make sure that when we come out with said laser, we're going to have to deal with all of them with sharp tools and probably smaller caliber lasers.
And that's why I told you to bring all the weapons.
And I did. Having known that we would go against so many, I would have probably bring my suit.
I think these people might be able to be convinced not to have violent actions. We don't have a lot of room on the ship for, say, crew quarters, but we do have a cargo hold, and we could drop them off at some planet that's not about to implode after we take back the laser.
I mean, we did not see any other ships.
Yeah, I think they're kind of SOL here.
Okay, I see.
You'd be doing them a favor.
Okay. Carry on then.
All right.
I follow your lead. I mean, at this point, you're in charge of the ops, so.
I appreciate the confidence. All right. Let's go.
All right, you make your way to the... Nope. Can you give us a second? We'll be back in 3 minutes. I'm sorry about that. Okay, we're back. As you approach the steepled building, you notice that there are a few armed guards outside. They're not wearing uniforms. They don't look like they're part of any mercenary organization that has been, that's widely recognized across the galaxy. However, you notice that they are armed with very strange rifles. And they wear a minimum amount of protection in the form of what could be construed as a sort of an energy-resistant vest. Like, I don't know what's the equivalent, again, the exact name, but basically leather armor. It would be leather armor. So I don't remember the name for it in Dark Matter. I think
it's just nanofiber.
Nanofiber vest. Let's go with that. There are... that you can see from where you are, 4 of them. 2 are standing on each side of the door, and there are 2 others that are just pacing back and forth nearby, checking, looking out into the street, and sort of overseeing the workers as they pick up the shards of adamantine and drop them onto hover lifts.
The impression that they're expecting trouble, because who would expect trouble from the workers who are here to make a ton of money off of the laser?
These people are clearly working of free volition and not being coerced to live on a crappy planet that's about to implode. No big deal, I'm sure that there's never any riots about that.
Okay, good point.
Let's try the diplomatic method first. All right. And Zindak's going to approach, like he owns the place essentially.
And the two guards look at the small halfling strutting his way towards them, and one of them says, that's off limit for you.
I'm sure it would be for normal people, but I'm a good friend of the mayor. Just let me through. It's no big deal.
The mayor has no friend except for the spacesuit man over there.
You want to tell him that? You can give him a call real quick. Deception or...
Make a persuasion check in this case.
Okay.
So I think you're trying to persuade them to call the...
No, I'm trying to keep them from calling. And
from calling him. Then, yeah, that would be deception in that case, yeah. 17. The second... Let's call them guard. Turns to the first and says, Cabot doesn't really want to be bothered. He's like, yeah, but he looks important, and there's 4 of us and 5 of them. All right, go ahead. And he touches an earpiece and says, we have visitors, let them through. And the door just slides open.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Ooh. Doxy's like just kind of doing his little scans, looking at his monitor.
There's not a lot of technology inside this building. It actually would be at home in a medieval setting. It looks like an old tower from the inside.
He's like, "Ooh, this is quite antiquated."
It is. There are a lot of wires going through the walls, probably up to the laser at the top. And Zredrick, you notice that there's a faint lingering aura or psychic impression of anger. Someone must have been very angry very often.
Huh.
It just, you can taste it. It tastes spicy.
Mm. I kind of like that.
Of course you would.
I steep in it for just a little while.
It's not enough to feed you, unfortunately.
Oh, I don't need reminding about that.
You pick
My little
up on
Scathari
anything new?
palps are...
You were saying, Zandak?
I was asking Zred if they're picking up on anything.
Just some delicious residual flavors in the air, but otherwise, no.
All right.
I will look down at my hammer and like, well, see what my hammer has to say about it. Since it's really the boss of me, after all.
Yeah, right. I forgot I existed for a moment.
I did too.
So we're about to... Nice. So we're about to go into enemy territory, if I understood that right.
I'd
we're
say
already
we're in the middle of it.
I would appreciate if you cast a defensive spell on myself. Do you have anything? I'm sure you have talents, right? You can do things.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the only thing that makes you special, am I? Because honestly, that'd be kind of sad.
I will take care of it.
Yeah, see that you do. I'm the boss.
Uh-oh.
At some point, I'm gonna pick up the hammer and throw it. Not yet.
No. Way to bring down the hammer there.
Oh man.
There are 4 other guards inside. These ones don't wear armor. And they have a simple pistol on their hip. And they stop you and say, before you go any higher, we need you to leave your weapons and all your gadgets. Mr. Cabot doesn't want any funny business.
I don't carry any weapons. I'm a doctor.
Unfortunately, some of these things are actually a part of me that it's a little hard to remove.
Then you stay here. You can leave the staff, lady.
Oh, she didn't bring it.
Oh, okay. Then yeah.
That's that's a toy that comes out for special occasions. This isn't a special occasion.
All right, then you're good.
Nah, I can respect that. And I'm going to leave my repeater and my laser sword.
They
And
just
I'm
put them
going-
all on a table
And I'm
near.
going to use sleight of
Roxy.
hand to conceal my swarm pistol and antimatter dagger.
All right, make a. Well,
Damn.
that's for the first. So the first was the pistol that you promptly drop on the ground, and the guard says, "Huh. Well, I'm gonna be taking that."
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
Of course. And then 13 for the antimatter dagger.
As they bend over to pick up your pistol, you deftly hide your dagger up your sleeve. They weren't looking as they were bending over.
While they bend over, I kind of quietly whisper in the earpiece that we all have. I say, if you need me, I'm tracking your location and just call.
Mm-hmm.
They look at the Skatari. Do you have any visible weapons?
I feel like they'd all be covered by my disguise, but that's kind of your judgment call. Otherwise, no.
Normally the disguises you, but not the equipment you carry.
Okay, then I carry quite a few things.
Oh, jeez.
So I will remove any of them that are.
So you just put them on the
Exposed.
table.
Yeah,
And
I
then
don't
Eder-
even try any funny business about it
Okay.
because I don't need them.
And you, fancy suit? Well, I mean, taller fancy suit.
I'm gonna sit downstairs.
All right then. The three of you, you can follow me. And basically this is like when I said a tower, there's no, spiral staircase like you would see in a wizard's tower in dungeon or whatever. It's just this big lobby that is made to look like an older structure. And there's an elevator that goes up. The elevator is completely covered in glass, so you can see all the different the cable and all the technology that goes into powering this place.
Mm.
And as you go up, the guard in the elevator tries to do small talk, as one is wont to do in an elevator. It says this is very impressive, isn't it?
I've seen bigger.
Did you link that into the chat thread because you're casting it, or because
No,
you
it was
have
on accident.
Oh, okay. Because it could have happened.
Yeah, it very well could. It was. I'm still getting used to these sheets, so I was trying
It's
to
okay.
see what the spell did. Sorry.
It's all right. No, it's okay. He looks to Kebichet and says, "Well, I mean, we make do with what we have. It's not the forge. Have you been to the forge?"
No, I haven't seen a forge in quite a long time.
I don't know where it is, but it's roaming about. Usually comes around about every 6 months or so. It's pretty damn impressive. I served on the forge myself for about 2 weeks. Good pay, but I couldn't stand the heat. And then the
You
elevator.
must get out of the fire.
The elevator opens. You exit. He remains in and just presses the button to close the door. You are in a hallway that is made of stone for the most part, though the floor is polished adamantine all over. There's a carpet that rolls from the elevator, that goes from the elevator to a door at the end of the corridor. There are also two doors, one on your left, one on your right. The one on your right is a bit closer than the one on your left, but they are both closed. And you hear muffled voices coming from the room at the end of that corridor. I think
This
you're
is your
muted,
sh-
Zendak.
This is your show,
you-
boss.
All right. I walk towards the door, open it up.
When you open it, Mr. Cabot, a very heavy-set man in his late 60s is just giving shit to one of the guards. It says, I told you I don't want to see anyone. I don't care how important they are. I have... Well, looks like they're here.
Yeah, you've got important business with me, of course. Of course you don't want to be disturbed.
He looks, glances at the guard and says, you stay in this room. And then he motions to a set of chairs in front of his desk and says, well, sit down, please.
Yeah, we can take a seat. So you took out a loan, got you a mining laser. Now we haven't received a few payments. It's been a minute. And unfortunately, we're a little past making up for it.
As you talk, all three of you can notice that he begins sweating profusely.
No, I can assure you, I'm not here to cause you any harm. I don't want your money. I don't want to hurt you. Just got to reclaim the property.
Nope, no deal. It's my laser. I need it.
That's not how loans work. You don't actually own that laser until you pay off the loan. And you know what? Even if you think this cute little god over here is going to do anything to me, you know what? If I don't come back with this laser, they're just going to send more, and they're going to send more, and it's just going to be too much for you to deal with. And then they're going to start hurting people. You don't want this town hurt, do you? Do you want to be hurt? I mean, you don't have to be scared of me, but you should be scared of the people that I work for.
What does Kebichet and Zredrick do while Zendak is clearly intimidating the guy? Which I'm going to ask for a roll, but after I know what happens with the two other enforcers, because you look like goddamn enforcers at the moment.
I am moving to be adjacent to this guard that's left in the room. I'm moving very close.
And
Space.
and Kebichet is moving herself so that she stands to the side of the doorway opposite Zred, so that she can have but full area view of everyone in the room.
Yep, that works.
And just kind of leans against the wall and watches.
All right, yeah, you'd be like here next to the door. There's Red and the guard, and then there's Zendak and Cabot. You can hear, by the way, Red, when you approach the guard, a definite as you get closer.
My smile just gets big, and then it's like unnaturally big, like it wouldn't even fit on a Scatheri face normally. And my
It's
teeth
like
are just so
Predator
pointy. Yeah.
So, Zendak, make a...
Would they be considered helping me?
Yes, that's what I wanted to know.
Okay.
So make an intimidation check with advantage.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
12.
With advantage? Oh,
Yeah,
I
that was
rolled
that
a-
or in that one.
Yeah, I rolled a
Cool.
1 and a 6.
Rough.
Before he replies, we'll just move to the first floor for a second, where Doxy is entertaining 3 other guards.
So, I see that you have the grade 6 level wire. This has been so outdated. I really should get some copies of and of course I'm looking up, like they're all taller than me. So I've got like Loxy kind of floating up there, kind of like pointing out to all the different wire circuits and things like that. And the moment that they are looking up, I'm going to actually activate my blink button and blink. Actually, tell me the distance real fast. How far is the elevator from where Doxy is?
10 feet, not even.
Perfect. So yeah, as soon as they look up, Doxy and Loxy just disappear into the whatchamacallit?
Elevator.
Elevator. Thank you.
I'm gonna ask you to make a stealth check, if only because the elevator is completely glass panes, like all around. So you not only have to blink in it, but you have to blink and go up fast enough before they notice anything. So just we'll consider it a stealth check.
Okay, so I didn't realize that it was glass panes. Would I be able to add on to that maybe prior to blinking, like as I'm talking to them, I'm like hacking the elevator to have it start as soon as I go, as I get there?
All right, we'll replace stealth by technology.
Perfect. I can do either one, but let's do it. Okay, I think it's a +6. Come on, baby. Oh, that's terrible. That's an 11.
11? All right. I rolled a 10. You instantly blink into the elevator. The elevator springs up through. You deactivated the safety mechanism on it, so it goes up. 40 feet. It just jets up in the blink of an eye.
Wasn't something supposed to happen next time he used a gadget?
Yeah, I was
Yes.
about to mention that. And then
Thank you.
Good things.
From now on, thanks to Devin, Loxy can use blink once.
Like
by
once
itself.
per day, once per session?
Once per forever.
Oh.
Loxy itself knows how to... It created whatever gadget you made for itself.
Oh, cool.
And can use it.
Okay, I'm going to write that down.
So you're going to hear the at least muffled version for the next minute or so of what's going to happen between Zandak and Cabot.
Cool.
So to go back to Cabot's office, Cabot says, it's not what you think. It's not that I'm withholding the funds or refusing to pay. You have to understand, it's this Thurman fellow in the forge, and he... Look, I pay him in adamantine, and he pays me back in credits. It's just... Well, you've seen this planet from space. It's kind of hard to navigate and everything, and I haven't seen the guy in over a year.
Hey, look, it's not my problem. My bosses didn't come here to say, find out why the money hasn't come. You could have done that. You could have reached out to the firm. You could have... fix this before it became a problem. Instead, you decided to hide out on your backwater planet that you are in charge of here, and hope that we didn't come looking.
Yep.
At this point, Kebichet is going to shift her position and posture and just start staring very hard at Cabot. Very hard. And Dredd would notice the change.
Now,
I don't know what's happening. Like, outgame, I don't know what's happening.
He lied about something.
Cabot, yes, that I know he lied.
And Keb noticed.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so she's just shifting her position to let Dredd know that he lied.
Oh, because of things. All right.
Because of things.
Cabot says, look, you've seen this planet. You've seen the type of low dredges I have to live with. I mean, even if I could send out a message to the firm, cut me some slack here. Oh, don't you dare yawn at me. I am the authority, Honori 6. I own this rock and I own all of its adamantine.
You're cute. You know what? He doesn't want to listen. Let's make him listen. Now, God, do you really want to come deal with the hellfire that's going to come down on this mare if, you get involved with anything?
I'm just looming over this guard as well with that disgusting smile. With my palps just...
Make an intimidation check. With advantage. Oh, not Zandak, but Dredd. Specifically for the guard.
Dang it.
Yeah, that was a good one. Still, an 18.
I mean,
yeah, the guard
was...
he was about to unholster his pistol, and he just re-advises, and he's like, I think my mom's calling. And
I
he
think
leaves
she
the
is.
room and bumps
If
into
I-
Doxy.
Yeah, I was gonna say like at this point it's like, yeah, I may have broken the elevator.
Oh
But
no! You don't get it. We have to leave. I know who you are, but there's giant. There's a Scathari. They're gonna eat Cabot. They're gonna eat Cabot, man. And he just runs down the corridor.
Damn it.
Cab, I think you need to test the loyalty of your guards before hiring them.
Doxy, lock the door.
Doxy's like Loxy literally just kind of like starts tinkering. Like you see her tail turn into something, and it's like, yeah, I'll just let Loxy deal with that.
Cabot goes, hey, this is
So
No.
what was that about your authority?
I am the authority here. I'll let you know. If you kill me, there will be repercussions.
I'm sure they'll mourn your loss. Now, once again, I'm going to give you an opportunity to honor the deal. Now, we take this laser, no one dies. Hell, I'll even drop you off on a planet that doesn't suck as bad as this one. But if you're going to argue, if you're going to make a fuss, you know...
If you continue to lie to my employer at the moment.
I didn't.
I'd also like to use my telepathy just to with Cabot, and it's just this low laughter that he hears in his head, and it's just this this devious low laughter that seems to come kind of out of nowhere.
I don't know.
I see you're starting to realize your actual position here and how much authority you actually have in this room right now.
Sir, his heart rate has skyrocketed. I'm not sure if he could take much more.
Oh, he can. I can ensure that he does.
Actually,
Really would
here's the
need it.
thing. No, he does not.
What?
So when I made Cabot, I might have been watching a lot of F is for Family. So those that know F is for Family, you know the boss in the airport.
Mm-hmm.
It is kind of who I took inspiration for Cabot. So his heart is giving out. He's going into cardiac arrest.
I mean, he can continue to do so. Do you want me to deal with this? I can. It's
Bring him back.
What?
If he gets along with us, it'll be easier for everyone.
And she waits just until he spare the dying.
Just like a moment before he hits the floor and just.
The void gives and the void takes.
Barbarian
No.
murderers.
No, dear. Well, I don't know. Dread, are we murderers?
I didn't do anything. Did you?
No. I mean, I stopped the men from dying.
That makes us the opposite of murderers, doesn't it?
I'd say we're heroes in this case. I'd say that, as heroes as such, the mayor would certainly be grateful and cooperate.
I mean, I should give the gentleman a full medical workover. He appears to have some sort of apoplexy.
I'll let everyone know how dirty the firm is. Good nature
what?
bank my ass. You're just.
Hey, it doesn't matter what people know. It matters what you can prove in the court. And you can't prove shit.
Oh, my adamantine is gonna. You'll see. I'll pay for the best lawyers. The best.
The best lawyers are the firm, so you're going to pay them against them. I'm very entertained. I want to watch this.
I'm tempted. I haven't had a chance to go to trial in a bit, but you know what? Do you really want to keep? You keep pushing us. You keep pushing us, and it's like you want to be hurt.
I mean, Zendak, you don't need to mention the man's proclivities in front of us.
I'm sorry. I just call it like it's.
All right, take the goddamn laser.
Do you want off the planet?
Fine. You also get all the people here. And I want you to send a message to the Forge. You also get the people from the Forge. I don't want to
I don't
send
know
them to their death.
Yeah. People on the Forge. They on a ship. They're safe.
I don't
They
think...
show up, they see the planet gone, they're not going to get hurt.
The Forge is not a spacefaring vessel. The Forge is a land vehicle.
It's a land vehicle?
It's like a roving city.
Ah, that makes sense.
It's not. It's not. It was built with all the scrap from the ships that we took to get here. What do you think we melt? What do you think we melt into it? Oh god.
How many people are on this forge?
Do you require medical assistance?
I'll survive.
Yes, you will.
There's about 20 people living in there. Thorman
I'm not sure if that's really the best option, really, especially if she's doing medical things for
Hey, Twitch.
Yeah, sup, bus?
You know how I tell you how much I appreciate you all the time, right?
Well, you don't, but keep talking.
Well,
It's okay.
I'm sorry about that. I really do. I really do appreciate you. I couldn't do what I do without you.
It's like you're trying to get out of my good graces.
No, I absolutely am. But anyways, I got 30-something people here that need a ride. And obviously we don't have crew quarters for them, but you think we can find room for them in the cargo?
Well, I mean, I can remove life support to the cargo, and that way we could probably survive a month.
Well, if you remove life support from cargo, they might have trouble living.
Yeah, it's like another way of saying no.
Fair enough.
Twitch, darling, do you require my assistance in providing them life support? Because I can do that for you.
Oh, I don't require the support of anyone, but I did just unlock the passenger quarters.
Oh, we are very kind and appreciate that so much.
I can take 6 of them.
You can take 6. How about if we double stacked them into the beds?
Oh, the issue is the oxygen, dear.
I mean, I'm sure we can come to some arrangement about that.
Yes, we would have enough air for you sentients to survive for about a month, tops. Hey, Lola!
In a month?
Yeah, what good of a pilot are you?
I am the best pilot,
Alright,
obviously.
you're about to have the death of about 30 people on your hands. Yeah, you can make them come in. Right, bye, Captain.
What?
It's okay, I can create an oxygen-rich environment for them for an extended period of time. However, I will be very, very exhausted and probably not very happy.
The hammer says you're cheating.
It's not cheating if I do it correctly. Also, I'm worried about your superstructure. You notice that you started flanking.
Who, me?
Yes, of course. I'm talking to a hammer that's talking to me. You're flaking all over the
Yeah,
place.
I know. That's just weird, aren't you? You're talking to a tool.
It's quite fascinating. I've been recording.
Sometimes it gets in the best. Sometimes I enjoy it. Sometimes I just use the tool and throw it against a wall. Days
That's
are
very
days.
disrespectful of tools.
That entire last sentence was just said to an actual hammer.
Oh, well, okay.
It just fell lifeless to the ground.
Fuck.
Zred, I think your
Well, lifeless. It became a mock again.
Zred, I think your friend has returned to its natural state.
I know better than to pick it up.
All right. So,
But Doxy doesn't.
Now I do.
I mean, she didn't say it.
This was your hammer, after all.
Oh, it's all right. I have others.
so Kebashet, you can provide oxygen for all these people?
Not all of them, but for a brief period of time, yes. It becomes problematic after an extended period of time. I get very tired and cranky.
How long are we talking? How long can you keep it up?
If I do it constantly,
Yeah.
I believe if I do it constantly, the ritual, I could do it for about 6 to 7 hours.
That's that could be a problem. Where's the nearest planet? Where's the nearest? Hey, Lola.
So, Nick, what do you mean 30 people?
We might be evacuating this planet if we can.
I thought we came for a laser.
Why not both? So
Are they hostages?
Oh no.
Yes. Yes, they are.
That's not the plan. I was planning on dropping them off at the nearest place that's slightly less of a dump than this one.
Where are
so
we going to put 30 people?
Well, my original idea was the cargo hold, but apparently Twitch doesn't like that idea. I was just wondering if you could do a quick scan for how long it would take to get the nearest planet through jumps and sublight travel and what have you.
How heavy is the laser?
It's pretty heavy.
And how heavy is the adamantine we're taking?
I think we might have to pass on that.
And
whatever Doxy can carry with his hands, with his bare hands.
What about that portal thing you were talking about?
I mean, that works for an hour, but it would still affect the weight of the ship eventually.
Whatever Doxy can carry with his hands.
Okay. As you see this scrawny dome kind of look deflated.
Lola, very confused, is gonna put the numbers in that she knows, estimate the weight of the 30 people, estimate the laser, maybe we can scan and get a better idea with Twitch how heavy that thing is. And just try and figure out how fast we can get to the closest habitable planet, I think was my instruction.
Yep.
Or moon. I'll take a moon.
Yeah, as long as it's habitable and people can breathe, I'm good.
I am willing to boost the engines however I can.
So, judging by where you are, you know that the Moss stations here will not allow you to go back because they're exits only at this distance of the center of the galaxy.
Right.
So you're going to need blind jumps?
You can do a blind jump if you want.
Mm-hmm. And did anyone buy roaches?
I didn't specify, but that was one thing I was going to get if I'm allowed.
Yeah, sure. I'd say you have one, in a vial. Right. It's your emergency roach.
Yeah, my emergency roach.
Because for people at home, eating cockroaches or space cockroaches in dark matter enables you to hallucinate the maps of the galaxy and the leeways and pathways, and it helps you jump from one place to the other. These cockroaches are sentient and probably intelligent.
Oh, and fun fact, they give you empathy while you eat them, so you get to feel what they feel while you eat it.
Oh,
that's a terrible idea.
Oh,
Who
man.
planned any of this idea? Okay, so hang on. We're stealing a laser, which is going to cause the planet to implode. So now we've got to take everyone off the planet. We're not taking the adamantine, which is a valuable bit for us.
We're taking some of the adamantine.
To actually house all the people and all the shit that we're bringing up.
I'm pretty sure taking the laser will not make the planet implode.
Yeah, no the laser, if anything, is going to be what causes the planet to implode. In essence,
why are we taking the people
again? This is their only sense of income, and if we take this laser, they
I got some great news for you, Zendak. There's a planet available that's habitable, and we don't have to go anywhere.
You're talking about this one, huh? I just assumed maybe we get them somewhere where they don't have to worry about their planet imploding.
Who's to say that they want to leave? I mean, they may have chosen this life for a reason.
Yeah, but once the laser is gone, there's... Oh, wait a minute. Am I hearing this?
Yeah, you know what? We'll figure it out. If we'll let people who want to come along. If we have to put a limit on how many people come along, you know what? I'll let the gracious mayor pick who comes.
I mean, I'm quite sure that if you wanted, we could work something out about ensuring that the gracious mayor might not be the one to make that choice.
I thought, we would thank him for his cooperation by giving him that option.
The option to what?
Keep breathing.
We're trying to accommodate as many people as we can. We hope we can get everyone, but if we can't, I'm going to give you the option of picking who stays and who goes.
Oh, I go, that's for sure.
That was an understood. So anyways, like I said, we're trying to figure out how we can get these people. AI is being a little temperamental, and we've got a pretty sassy pilot. But you know what? She's a firecracker. It's great. So, anyways, Lola, I know you want the adamantine. I know, maybe you don't care about where these people are going to stay after we take this laser and they can't feed themselves, but...
Well, why aren't we making a deal to let them keep the laser? As far as I'm concerned, you're the one establishing this problem.
I was employed to
from what I know
retrieve
about
this
the
laser.
company, they're more likely to want to turn these people into slaves, which doesn't seem very in their interest.
That's why I'm not taking the people to the farm. I'm taking these people to the nearest planet, and then we take the laser back to where we're supposed to.
But you realize you just dumped 30 people on a planet with no infrastructure, or worse, with an infrastructure that isn't equipped for 30 people. Is that really an improvement on the situation they have here?
It might not be a complete improvement, but it's certainly, slight improvement. I can only do so much for these people. But if we don't want to work with these people, we don't have to work with these people. It's fine. It's fine.
Can one of you make a single D20 roll? No modifiers.
8.
8? Alright, thank you. We'll just go downstairs to the first floor for a moment. Eddard.
Yes.
Doxy disappeared.
Yes.
The elevator just jetted up to the second floor, and you're left with 3 very angry guards who are reaching for their guns. And
I've already reached out for mine and pulled them out.
And they're like, whoa, what kind of trick are you playing on us?
You were about to pull on me.
And they each draw their pistol, aiming at you, and they say, "We said no gadgets, we said no tricks. Where's your tiny pal?"
Up the elevator, obviously.
They weren't supposed to go there. And they start hammering on the button to call the elevator back. The elevator comes down with a guard. He's white as a sheet. And he's like, "They're about to eat the bus! They're about to eat the bus! Run away! Run away!" And he just bolts out.
Oh, that's new.
Thank you for that 8. All 3 of them get the
Say what?
Well, the 8 was to check if they had the stomach to stay. Or would they follow the other guy? Because, come on, they're clearly... If that dude hasn't paid his laser in so long, do you think he's paid his employees?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they leave you in the lobby with the elevator right next to you that you can take to go up to the...
Ding.
You arrive...
There's weapons everywhere, so I might as well just carry them back upstairs.
with everything in your arm. There's a
Yep.
knock at the door to the office. It's Eddard with, like, all of your weapons.
Grab your stuff. Grab your stuff.
I see you took care of those below. I appreciate it.
Oh, yes. Yes. Scared them right off.
So, Ed, we seem to be at an impasse here between the rest of us, or at least me and Lola. So let's get you to weigh in on this. So we're taking the laser. That's the job we were hired to do. That's what we're gonna do. Now, I'm trying to find creative solutions to, leave these people not completely screwed. There's a debate on whether or not it's worth our time. There's a debate on whether or not we have the resources to do it. I'm just want to know what your thoughts are on it.
So if I understood correctly, you're trying to bring 30 plus people on board our ship.
Yeah, just drop them off at the nearest planet, or wherever we can drop them off.
When they learn that they're going to be either A, dropped off to a planet that has nothing for them, or choosing to stay here, they might just decide to come with us. Once in space, overpower all of us because it's going to be what, 5-1, and then take over the ship. And I'm pretty sure Twitch will be very happy to have a new crew to torment.
Or they find out we're gonna take the laser, kill us before we take the laser, carry on living their nice life on this planet, and they gain a nice ship for when it implodes. They just hop on and they can deal with Twitch's bullshit that they don't know about yet.
All right, you know what?
Twitch, darling, I have a question for you to factor into your calculations.
This is weird. I've lived through this before.
I'm sure
Yes,
you
dear.
have. You're a very wonderful creature. What would happen if the individuals we were taking, would it have an effect on their life support systems if they were unconscious during the entire trip?
You want me to knock them unconscious?
Well, I mean, we can make sure that they stay alive. I can do that while they're unconscious. It merely requires a minor calculation and some medical attention, and I do believe that if they're unconscious, then they're, well, more accurately in a coma, then they're not actually drawing on life support systems in the same manner now, are they?
I mean, if they're in a state of stasis, then yes, then they wouldn't be consuming as much oxygen or anything for that matter.
Oh yeah, I can. I mean, where would they sleep?
Well, I'm quite sure we have plenty of room to put them in the med bay for the moment. Possibly a few in the cargo hold. We can put a few in those wonderful passenger dorms that you just opened up.
That's feasible. Yeah, coma for everyone.
I like how
I just fly the ship. You tell me where we're going, and I will fly the ship. And Lola's just gonna turn off her comms because this is crazy.
Kepichet's going to get the people off the planet. She's just going to do it while they're at 0 hit points and spare the dying.
You know what? You know that works for me. I'm just trying to make sure that these people have a chance. You know, so let's hurry up. Let's collect this laser with our good friend the mayor. We figured it out. We figured out how to get everyone on the boat.
All right, and
let's not forget we also have to go and get the guys from the forge, which we don't know where it is, and it hasn't been seen in a year.
No. The wonderful gentleman mayor over there was lying about that because the kind gentleman that came up in the elevator with us was talking about the fact that no, it comes around every 6 months.
no,
And it was due in about a couple of weeks, I believe.
I can give them a call.
Oh yes, yes you will. Less people, the better.
Yeah. And on that note, before you start dismantling the laser, before the forge gets here, we are going to end our first episode of Dark Matter. I would have loved to play for longer, but it is getting late. And we've gone through a lot of things. Actually, we have now 3 rooms unlocked, which have yet to be explored. So we'll have that to do next week. And a lot of the last batch of ship surges will be handled at various points next week. Because most of them require... Oh boy, you're going to get 30 people in the ship now. Yeah, so next week, fun stuff. 30 comatose people. Hey, before we leave, let's just go around the table. We'll do outros. Just let us know who you are, if you've enjoyed this episode, what was your favorite moment, and where we can find you on the internet. And we will start with, let's go with Rochelle.
Oh. Well, again, my name is Rochelle. My Twitter handle is at Pashka_D, and I go by Meep. A lot of people know me from enforcing at PAX West and PAX Unplugged this last year. So if you recognize me, that might be from where you know me. Otherwise, I'm grateful that you gave me a chance to join you, Simon. Thank you so much. And I was really nervous because it's been a long time since I even played 5e. I play a lot of rules light systems. So I was like, ooh. But everybody's been very patient, and I appreciate that so much. I think my favorite part is it's got to be Twitch. I mean, There's so many good moments. I'm gonna love this. I hate it. I both hate it and love it at the same time.
Good. I'll take that as a compliment. Justin.
Hi, I'm Justin. So I had a hand in helping develop the setting. I am, the guy from Mage Hand Press. I was in chat as tweeter of Vecna, and I had a whole lot of fun playing this. And if you had fun watching, I hope you give it a look. Anyways, my favorite part was the interactions where it became apparent that we are criminals, like the wait, we are the bad guy moments. Where, that was a lot of fun. Usually I play the neutral good, chaotic good character, so it was fun to play a darker individual.
I was muted. Deirdre.
Hey y'all, I'm Deirdre, or as you know me in the Twitch chat, Praxagora Thesmophoria. For me, you can find me spending a lot of time playing on this channel. Actually, you'll find me here Monday nights playing some wonderful Dark Matter and some wonderful Void. On Saturdays, you'll find me actually is the keeper as I drive people insane through the Old West in a Pulp Cthulhu game, which is starting next week. Come hang out and watch that; it'll be fun. Sundays, I'm playing on the Shattered Eye on Soul Bear RPG, where family drama and fae shenanigans and sword and sorcery. That's all you need to know about that at the moment. Also, Kika got to punch out Mordenkainen last night.
I hear they use some Mage Hand products over there too, don't they?
Oh yeah, they do. They
we're actually sponsored by Mage Hand Press.
We are sponsored by Mage Hand Press, and that's where I get to play my wonderful Fae Bard. She's fun. But you can also find me over on Role Players with Tia Zimmer and Encounter Josh, and I am now the official YouTube content director for them. So if you need things to go on YouTube and you see that going up there, come check us out.
Let's go around the table, the other side, to Eddie.
Yeah, so I'm a software engineer by day, and at night I play games. No, I've met a lot of these lovely people actually at PAX Unplugged or last year, especially Simon playing what was it called, the Dragon Heist. There we go. Brains had a fart there. But yeah, I'm Pixel Pirate on the Twitters, Ninja Pseudo on just about everything else, and the Pixel is with 3. Yeah, I had a lot of fun tonight. I mean, you probably saw it in my laughter and my clapping. I apologize, but I'm very animated. And probably my favorite part, let's see, I would say, I want to say like just the kind of the whole dynamic between the crew. I mean, there's a lot, but like the whole dynamic between the crew, especially where the grenade with Stella and how that evolved, made me just laugh. So that was probably my favorite.
Charlie, you're next.
I think my favorite part was when Zredrick totally gave that man a heart attack just by smiling at him. It was beautiful and glorious, and I'm so happy we have a monster on board the ship.
Thank you.
Speaking of monsters, I also enjoyed that we are wrecking this planet single-handedly. It's really interesting to me because I go from an Inquisition game earlier on Encounter Roleplay where I'm playing the Inquisitor, who is, ferreting out heresy again, coming from a lawful place, but not necessarily doing the good thing. Well, she thinks she's doing the good thing. A lot of people call it mass murder and genocide, but
I mean,
yeah, so it's interesting. And then I come here and I've been kind of tired and ill tonight, so it hasn't helped, but I've had a really good time. It's been a lot of fun playing with these people. And I'm looking forward very much to next week. You can find me on Encounter Roleplays Mondays, playing Inquisitor at 2 p.m. And then I'm here playing Dark Matter at 8 p.m. Tuesdays, starting next week, I'm on Pro Restarter's channel playing Dungeon World. Wednesdays, I'm back on Encounter for some Warhammer at 5 p.m. Thursdays, I play Monster Hearts and something else. What else do I play on Thursdays? I don't remember. Fridays, I play Invisible Sun on Grimjack's channel. Tales from the Grim, just rebranded. And then Sunday, at the end of the month, I am starting playing a Cypher. Oh, it's Cypher! That's what I play on Thursdays. How can I forget? I play Cypher on Scraticus' channel on Thursdays. But yeah, starting at the end of the month, I am DMing a Cypher Vampires game on WebDM, which I'm very excited about. It's called The Lost Girls. Got an amazing crew of role players involved, and yeah, it was very exciting. It's all pinned in the tweet, but I'm very excited to be here on Mondays, playing here with the zany crew, doing the bad things, doing the good things, doing the Twitch things.
And last but not least, Alex.
Hello. You would be able to find me on Twitter as well at The Gambit. I have a game on Tuesdays where we do shenanigans in space still, but in the Star Wars universe. I believe it's our final season.
Final season, first episode tomorrow at 8.
Yes, we will be breaking hearts, that's for sure.
Yes, you actually start on Dagobah with Yoda, who you finally found after an entire season of looking for him.
He's gonna be senile as hell.
Because it's the darkest timeline, so
yes,
it's even better.
Oh boy.
Oh, community.
Yep. And I'm Simon at @wondering_DM. This is my channel. If you look at my Twitter, you'll see the schedule for all the shows I'm in. We stream, or I stream 7 days a week, except not necessarily on this channel. I'm also going to be on Pro Restarter starting next week on Wednesdays for a Witcher game, and then on Unmade Gaming on Thursdays for Warhammer, Blood on the Reich, and on Sundays, yes, with you actually.
Yeah.
And on Sundays with Shadow Die.
All I have to say about that game is Fish Pant Ale.
Yes, Fish Pant Ale, the best. Also, bathing once per holiday.
I mean, I do remember having to change pants at least once during a Warhammer game.
Yeah, in this case, the fisherman actually washed them in front of everyone. Anyway, I hope you all had fun tonight. I was a bit nervous because, wow, there was just so much production value. And I've missed a couple things, so next week might be a bit more normal as far as episodes go, and as we get into the routine of it. But we are here.
I do want to shout out our wonderful artist again, Lucas, who has been in chat this whole time, who did our amazing art. And we are going to get you on board this ship.
Yes, you're going to guess.
You're one of the 30. You're coming with me.
Yes.
And I will reach out probably through direct message or Twitter, but to our two stream bosses who will now get to design an encounter, be it something of a social intrigue, a puzzle, or a combat encounter for the crew to encounter over the course of this season as they unearth the secrets of the ship and everything else. Because, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things to unpack, and tonight was just scratching the surface. So I hope y'all had fun. I had a lot of fun DMing all 6 of you, and, 7 if I count the wonky AI, 8 if I count the hammer, 9 if I count the coyote, 10 if I count the AI. Alright, I'm good. And we will see you next week at 8 p.m. Bye-bye.
Ciao.